新年快乐, which means Happy New Year. I know that you guys in the West have probably stopped saying that a while ago, maybe about a month ago, but here it's very appropriate because in the East we have just celebrated Chinese New Year, which for us has meant an opportunity just to have a holiday, to relax, to chill out. So last week we went to a place called Sun Moon Lake, which is a lake. It's in the mountains in Taiwan. So it's 750 meters. It's surrounded by some serious mountains. Like, it is incredibly beautiful. It's just stunning. So we had a week there and just relaxed and took it easy and got some great rest and saw some brilliant views, which was lovely. And then this week we've just had an opportunity to relax at home in Taipei and also to celebrate Chinese New Year with Echo and her family, which again was really special. It's a big occasion, so to be invited to Echo's family to celebrate is lovely. We really do appreciate them and their family for making us feel so welcome. It was a real blessing. Christmas for us, Christmas and Western New Year were a lot more low key. Thank you to all of those of you who got in touch after our last prayer letter and just to say, we're praying for you and let us know about how you're doing and that kind of stuff. We really appreciated it. It was really, really very kind and lovely to receive those emails. For us, it was a bit low key here. We did have some stuff planned, but we weren't actually able to do most of it because of Mim's health. Mim wasn't feeling well, which wasn't great. But the reason that she wasn't feeling well was because she's pregnant, which is great, and we are very excited about it. Mim, do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, we're really excited. I'm now just over 14 weeks pregnant, so I'm due somewhere around the 7th of August. We've been given 3 different dates, so 7th, 8th or 11th, or probably none of those at all, but somewhere around beginning to middle of August. I was quite sick for the first couple of months, which wasn't so fun, but school were amazing, and we just had real favour with them. So actually the deputy head suggested and asked whether Pete might be able to cover some of my classes for me. So Pete became me for a few weeks.
Not as good looking.
And they were even happy for me to work half days. So I worked half days for about the last 3 weeks a month of the last semester, which made a huge difference to me. And I was really grateful that they were so flexible with that, and they paid me full pay, which is great. We've enjoyed the last couple of weeks resting. Back to school on Monday, which I'm not looking forward to so much. Prayers for energy and no sickness would be amazing as we go back into the last semester. We are planning to stay in Taiwan. We feel like that's what God's leading us to at the moment. So we're now trying to work out what it looks like to give birth in Taiwan and to start to raise a baby in Taiwan. The healthcare here is really, really good. In fact, Taiwan, I think, has the world's lowest birth rate, but yet has some fantastic facilities, which means that we get lots of great treatment. So I've actually already had 3 scans, and we're off for our first kind of official hospital appointment on Monday. So I think giving birth here should be pretty good. One big thing actually that we'd like some prayer for is that our visas and health insurance are tied to my job, and my contract is due to kind of run out at the end of June. And so, which means that our visas and health insurance will run out in July, and the baby is due in August, by which point I won't be able to fly. So we would love prayers for the practicalities of visas, health insurance, and Pete's job, which we'll talk a bit more about a bit later. I've actually got a meeting on Monday with the deputy head at my school, and I'm going to explore the option of whether they would be happy to renew my visa and health insurance for me, at least perhaps for the first couple of months, because I don't fancy giving birth on a boat. In fact, we just found out today that you can't even go on a boat when you're that pregnant. So we would love to be legally in Taiwan when I give birth. Also really grateful that the pastor's wife has been really, really helpful in helping us try and navigate what it looks like to go through the health system in Taiwan, and actually she's coming with us on Monday to our first hospital appointment, hoping not inside the room, but we'll see. And also that God's been really kind in giving me another pregnant friend. So there's a couple who we've been getting to know, and we found out a few weeks ago that she's also pregnant, and she's due a month after me. So I'm really grateful and excited for that. We're currently looking forward to and planning pregnant waddles after sunset in Taiwan when the summer is really, really hot. And apparently about kind of 7, 8 at night, you see all the pregnant women emerge from their houses where they've been hiding under aircon for the day to waddle along by the river. So we're looking forward to pregnant waddles together. But it just feels like another kind of example of God's provision and kindness to us. Really.
Yeah. So another thing that we'd love prayer for is the Alpha course, which is starting this week. So I'm going to start running this Alpha course at MIM School Kwai Shan. Thank you for those of you who prayed for the talk that I did. So I did that about a month ago, and it seemed to go really well from the feedback that I got from other people. And also, I was able to share the gospel, hopefully explain it clearly, and invite people to respond. And 5 or 6 young people responded, which was fantastic. We are really grateful for that. That's it's wonderful. Praise God. So really excited about what God might do through the Alpha course. Really appreciate your prayers. Like I said, it's starting the first week this coming week, and we'll run all the way through to the summer. Really said it already, but really appreciate your prayers for that. Also, Mim touched on me getting a job and our visa situation. Our plan is that Mim will stop working when she gets to the end of this semester in the summer, and that I will start working, and that we can transition our visas over and also our main source of income over to my job. And we think there might be a possibility that I could get a job at MIM School doing some teaching. We may have understood that right, we may have misread the situation, so we are trying to explore this in a culturally appropriate way. But we really appreciate your prayers for that, because it would seem like a really good opportunity to get a job at MIM School, doing maybe some of this outreach stuff, but also teaching English. And ideally, in a kind of ideal world, it would be lovely if I could work 4 days a week, earning a similar wage to Mim, and that would give me one day a week to continue learning Mandarin. And that would be fantastic if God could provide like that. So we'd really love your specific prayers for me to have a 4-day-a-week role at Kwai Shan on the same pay that Mim has had. God can do anything, and He may provide in lots of other ways. We're confident He will provide, but this seems like a really likely and great way that He might provide. And just to mention, actually, 2 years ago when we moved out here, there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns, and we actually found ourselves getting very anxious internally about that. And we're kind of facing maybe it's a different situation, but some big unknowns now with a baby on the way. But we're just noticing that actually God's really worked in us the last 2 years, because we're not feeling quite as anxious, and not feeling anywhere near as anxious. In fact, we have this kind of sense that God will provide and He knows what He's doing, and we might not know what that looks like exactly, but actually we're just finding ourselves with a real sense of confidence, really, that God will provide. And so we're really grateful for the way that God's worked in us the last 2 years, and we're just able to kind of take stock at this point and reflect and see that. So we just wanted to share that with you as a kind of, because we're grateful for it. So please do thank God in your prayers that He's been working in us. We are really, really grateful for it. Anyway, we will check out there and say goodbye and Happy New Year. And thank you so much for your prayers. We really do appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.